All right, guys. I'm about to join a Twitter space that is discussing the whole data crisis. When I mean data, the telecom companies are killing. Telecom companies are killing your pockets, your bottom line with crazy billing and stealing your data, and they're doing everything, and there seems to be no end in sight, and there is no one willing to bring them to order, because the government that should be doing that is heavily compromised. So you can join us on Twitter right now, where the space is going on, and this is MTN, GLO, AIRTEL, 9MOBILE. Enough is enough. Data must fall. So that's where we are right now, and I'm going to be joined by others who I'm waiting to hear from them so that they can give me the mic, and I'm sure you will hear.
Bro, are they with me?
Hello? Okay, it looks like. Anyways, that's a situation that
you go speak English, but waiting the top
request to speak. The request to speak is Phil, please rejoin the space. I have to rejoin the space again because my request to speak has just failed. All right, it's connecting to the space once again. And when I do, you will hear from people across Nigeria who are tired of what the companies are doing to us. And the fact that the government is not concerned about this, because, of course, you don't practically have a government anyways. So that's what has brought us here today, this Sunday, to discuss about what the data companies are doing, the telecom companies are doing to your data. I might need to restart my space completely. So, but I'm here with you. If you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, happy Sunday to all of you. Just as we are complaining about this, I'm also experiencing poor connection from these companies. They're very wicked companies. You pay huge amount of money for them to provide services to you, and they practically don't provide these services. And we're here to end this exploitation and extortion of the Nigerian people. And it's not limited to MTN, but you look at the order of extortion, MTN is number one. So, and being number one means we'll place them at our priority levels, because the priority is for how much they extort is the highest. They are in red. You know, people have talked about AIRTEL, GLO, all of them are guilty. I interestingly have all these networks, because to survive in Nigeria, to use internet, you must have all the networks. You know, I have several of MTN. Some of them are based in my phone. Some of them are based out of my, I buy their so-called 5G, 4Gs, whatever Gs they have, I have. But these things just don't work. And it's worse in different parts of the country. How do you pay for services that are never delivered to you? That is why we're here today, and trying to rejoin our colleagues who are already on standby on Twitter to make this a reality today. So please hang on. I'll be back with you as soon as I'm able to join the folks on Twitter who are handling this matter on our behalf. Guys, I think there's some kind of interference with TikTok. Okay, start listening. Okay. performance and use. All right, I think I finally was able to get, okay, unmute.
I want to rant as for so long, but I'm glad Nigerians are waking up, and this one is touching everybody at the back of their head. So, it's just as if we are not paying attention. Network like AIRTEL will tell you that data is life, but they won't tell you that they are after your life. So, because the way you are consuming data, MTN will even tell you that everywhere you go. So MTN is indirectly telling us that everywhere you go, we will collect that money from you. That money you think you want to save, we will collect it from you. These people are just like they have been moving mad, and we have a regulatory body that is so useless. That is NCC. NCC is supposed to regulate all these things. In fact, they are the ringleader in the cause of all these messes. So let me just pause here because I need to honor our president. He's in our midst. Mr. Sowore, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Thank you so much. And of course, we have been taking the reaction of the Nigerian people, panic reaction. Good afternoon, Nigeria. And as we say in the struggle, good afternoon, comrades and revolutionaries. And we are on Sowore community on X, and this is People's Power Space, where we meet together every week, 12 noon, to basically, come together to strategize and organize towards a collective struggle. Today, we are not here for a small talk, and it's no joke. Why we want to basically make joke of this, it's something that is basically a struggle of the ordinary Nigerian people. And we are here because the people have drawn a line in the sand. For far too long, MTN, AIRTEL, GLO, 9MOBILE, and their fellow data vampires have turned Nigerian subscribers into cash cow, sucking our airtime, depleting our data in minutes, crashing networks in the moment rain falls and other important moments. Some people will be on an interview where they need that data desperately. At that time, AIRTEL and MTN would just mess them up. And of course, many people have suffered so much business casualty economically just because of the terrible services that these guys that call themselves network providers, they have been able to basically offer the barest minimum. And, it's been very, very interesting. And of course, this is not, a time for us to basically lament. It's time for us to basically put actions to words. And of course, without further ado, we want to say enough is enough. And who is better to lead this conversation than the man who has never ran from a fight? The founder of Sowore Reporters, presidential aspirant of the African Action Congress, and the unrelenting voice of the revolution now, Comrade Sowore. Welcome to People's Power Space, and of course, the unstoppable friends of Sowore. We are very much poised to listen to you, sir. You're welcome to this conversation. Let's hear from you, sir.
Let's show some love, show some love, show some love. Please show some love, please show some love.
Thank you so much, everyone, and revolutionary greetings to you this Sunday from my location here in Abuja.
Can you hear us? I hope it's not network providers basically not responsible for
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. I was just sending my revolutionary greetings to all our comrades, Nigerians out there who have come to this bus stop where we are saying enough is enough about the data theft. Most of us have reached a point where the use of internet has become one of the most important hierarchy of needs. If it used to be without internet, but right now data is on top of that that particular hub, and all of you need not be told how crazy these guys have taken Nigerians for granted. They have been doing this for a long time. Like someone rightly said, they'll tell you data is life, but actually the telcos are after your life. They're after your pocket, and it is such an unbelievable, long period of non-intervention by the government. And I'm never afraid to tell you that you don't have a government. So don't expect government to intervene on your behalf. We have to fight for everything that would define our lives and make life better. But beyond just data, you all are aware that the cost of living in Nigeria has skyrocketed because of this particularly responsible government. Fuel prices are up. They are fighting war in Iran, and the US and Israel are fighting. But Nigeria that is not at war is where you pay higher. You pay higher in this country for buying gasoline, petrol, than you pay in Iran. Even though the US has been bombing and bombarding Iran, Israel has been doing it, they have electricity there. There's cost of living associated with electricity as well. Some of you can no longer even use your appliances anymore because these electricity companies are sucking life out of you through tariffs. So the same thing with general cost of living. So though this conversation surrounds the meticulous extortion of Nigerians by data company led by MTN, the South African-based company, all of the telcos are guilty. And like someone rightly said, the Nigerian government is most guilty because they're irresponsible and they have not stood up for the Nigerian people to ensure that their citizens are not extorted by these companies. I've done my research. I have here with me all the telcos, internet hub with me. I have 5G, I have 4G from MTN, I have 4G from AIRTEL, I have them on my phone. I can tell you that all of them, without exception, are useless. Even Starlink, owned by Elon Musk, I have it too. I pay about 72 euros every month to Starlink. Starlink is also useless where I am in Abuja. And I don't know how many of you would say that you're getting value for your money when it comes to Starlink. So we want to frame this as a cost of living crisis that is bedeviling Nigeria, but in which the telcos, because it's important to make it clear that the telcos are actually something that is closer to all of us. Everybody now operates using data, to buy food, to order ride, to do banking transaction, to sell, to even order for doctors' appointments. You have to use apps that are associated with these phones. You belong to groups where your voices that are very important are heard, and these guys are after you everywhere you go. Before you on your data, 5 seconds later it's gone. I typically buy the 55,000 250 gig data from MTN. That is the 5G they have. One skyscraper that I bought, that's actually one of the most overpriced skyscrapers in the world that they call 5G. Nothing is in there. Within 3 days, it's gone. I have a 4G, 3 days maximum, it's gone. I have one that's associated with my phone. Within a short time, it is gone. It's the same thing with AIRTEL. But beyond that is the fact that when you want to use this data, you cannot be assured of service delivery. So that because I've met some of them, some of them has been reaching out somehow, I think some of their minions, saying that, you should check your phone when you belong to certain groups. Maybe the groups are eating your data while you're asleep. That's not the issue. The issue is that we have an agreement, paid for services to you. You're supposed to deliver pristine services to us. You are not doing that. People are making calls. The calls are dropping every minute. We are using data. The data is dropping every minute. You're in the midst of interview, like our comrade said. You can't get through the interview because the data has failed in the process. If it rains, even if it drizzles, it is gone. There's nowhere in the world that you get this kind of service. And I must add that I have a US-based phone that's been with me for 7 years, roamed to Nigeria, and the data on it, even though it's roamed to Nigeria, is cheaper than what I get from MTN and all these useless telcos in Nigeria. should we now also discuss briefly that the the agencies that are supposed to regulate them, located at the Ministry of Communication, I think, and the NCC, the National Communication Commission, are all in bed with them, because those ones are more interested in gaining whatever they can from MTN. They have surrendered their own sovereignty to these telcos, so you can't get anything resolved through them without action. So that, in a nutshell, is the reason we are here today. And I'm glad you all are here, and I would like to hear more from people. But as I normally would say to people in this kind of circumstance, yes, speech is great, or we can make very powerful speeches, but I think action is more important, and that is what the truth is for me. Action is more important than the great speeches. So we want to hear in terms of action, even though we want to vibrate, elaborate, enunciate, and also adumbrate, as they say in our law courts. What are we doing next? Who is ready to come with me or come with us? Where are we holding? When are we starting action? That is what we need to really focus on, how to mobilize the entire country, not only against these companies, but the irresponsible government that has made it impossible for us to get, the value for the money that is extorted from us. They take taxes, they take tariffs, they take excise duties, they take everything from us, but they give us nothing in return. And that must end, and end now. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you so very much. Powerful stuff there. And thank you so very much. So many Nigerians are basically very much interested in this powerfully. And of course, we are here to hear their experiences. We are here to listen to them, and of course, we are here to basically organize with them. And many people are very, very much excited, because they are very sure that when Sowore takes up a struggle, he would not back down, and of course, he would not basically compromise, with the very same people that we want to fight against, to basically do the needful. And of course, to kickstart this conversation, we recognize the presence of the National Publicity Secretary of the African Action Congress, Strong Rex. It's nice to have you once again. We would like to pass you the mic before we go with the queue, based on the number of people that we have at the speaker section. And of course, please bear with us. After speaking, it might be necessary for us to bring up new speakers and drop old speakers. So please, there's no ill intentions towards that. So Strong Rex, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Let's have your contribution, or perhaps your suggestions.
Thank you. All right. Let me just speak to so that we can continue. Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade, and big shout out and thank you to our leader, Comrade Sowore, who has been standing up at all times, irrespective of the weather, to confront the issues that have been confronting us and decimating us as a people. So quickly, I just wanted to say, in fact, there's no better time to fight this fight than now, because this is when we need, to have value for what we pay for, especially when we have agitations like this, when we're supposed to live stream, or even capture these things. That's when the governments connive with these same telcos to make sure they shut our voices down. But my most important point I want to make today is that after this space, we will always have a need to keep up the conversation as regards mobilizing to take action, where we are going to start with, where we are moving to. And the easiest way to keep this spirit of mobilization together is to join the African Action Congress, the body that is, fronting and leading this charge. Because when we are members of the African Action Congress, it's easy for us to disseminate information amongst ourselves. It's easy for us to share. It's easy for us to even, upgrade and put more life into what we want to do. So there's no big deal about it. When someone spoke earlier on, Bad Governance, talked about us politicizing the struggle. It is important because every problem we have is politics. It's politicized. It's political. Like our leader just talked about the connivance of the NCC and other regulatory bodies with these telcos who rip this country and take more than even our budget out of this country on a yearly basis. So I just want to say and encourage all of us, if you have not joined the AAC, the African Action Congress, the Revolutionary Party of the People for Total Liberation of Nigeria, what are you waiting for?
The link is there. Follow our Twitter, our X handle, join our party, be trained through our political education department, join your local chapter, and let's keep the conversation going. And I believe that the fight for us to have, sanity within the communication space is just one of many that we are going to conquer. Thank you so much for your time and welcome. I know our leader is still going to put a lot of light to so many other issues and questions that people will be asking. Thank you all, comrades. AAC, our party.
Take it
AAC,
back,
take it
our
back.
party.
Thank you very, very strongly, Comrade Strong Rex, the National Publicity Secretary of the African Action Congress. We'll still want to retain you at the speaker section because we'll soon be talking about how we want to mobilize, because that is the most important thing. Mobilization, how we want to mobilize towards the end of this exploitative situation. Let's have Comrade Swaz. Comrade Swaz, you're welcome. Let's have your contribution.
All right, so thank you very much. So quickly to my own experience with regards how I'm audible, with regards MTN. It's most times seems like these telecommunication services are doing us a favor, right? That we have to beg them. And sometimes I still don't blame them because of the way we think. Some persons think that, it's a privilege for us to have internet access. Like some persons think that Obasanjo gave us the internet, and so we should be grateful that without MTN we'll be in the Stone Age and those kind of low self-esteem thinking. Maybe that's what has made this culture of impunity from the telcos very prominent. But my own experience, most persons in this space in Nigeria most likely have 3 SIMs, all right, 2 at the very least. And that is why 2 SIM card phones sell a lot in Nigeria. Because when you get into an area newly or you go visit someone in another area, the first thing you ask them, or one of the first things is, which network strong for yet fast, right? And so you now slot in that SIM card. Most persons, the SIM card on their phone is different from their WhatsApp number. It's because the current SIM card is the one that has network, right? And it's a familiar experience for most of us. One thing that has been weird to me is that for the past 2 years, when I am at the office, and it's not in a bush, this is at the office, right? I don't get network. I can't do anything once I'm inside my office. But in order to adapt, I now found out that when I switch to 3G, that's the only time I may be able to just access the internet. Because with 4G, 5G, never. 3G. In the year 2026, imagine being limited to 3G. When it should be a case where the higher you go, the stronger the network, it's now the reverse. And this is on MTN. On GLO, there's even whether you switch to 2G, 3G, 4G, nothing, right? So I know some of us also have this experience, and I do, is that the greatest mistake you can make as a Nigerian is to watch Netflix on your TV. The moment you do that, your data is gone, especially on MTN. You spend about 5 gig for a 1-hour movie. All right, it goes very fast. It is not normal. This is not life. I don't know, we've normalized it, we've accepted it, but it's not life we are living. None of us, right, get paid enough to afford this. None of us. And this is not luxury. But I know when they say, Netflix on TV, some people say, it's luxury. It is not luxury. It's a basic, right? It's not a big deal. Looking at myself, for example, the data subscription I used to do was MTN and AIRTEL. The way I did it was the MTN always on. It used to be 6,000 for 45 gig. You get 1.5 gig every day. So for 30 days, that was 45 gig. But it was not enough because these guys were just sucking up the data because I don't download much. So when I want to download, I'll do extra subscription. This is not the only subscription. No. Every 1 or 2 days, you do a daily sub. When you want to download, then do get 3 gig, 2.5 gig to do the download. So it's just for surfing. But it's not enough. So I did it in conjunction with AIRTEL. Also 1.5 gig daily. That one was 5,000. Yes, 5,000 for the AIRTEL, then 6,000 for the MTN. Now, last year, when things became rough for us, when the price of things increased again. Don't forget when Tinubu came in, things became bad. Then things now increased again with all the fuel increase and all that. The price was increased. So MTN was increased by 50%. It was increased from 6,000 to 9,000. All of a sudden, what used to be 6,000 became 9,000. That's a 50% increase. Now, my salary did not increase by 1%. But yet, I'm meant to adjust. So the only way I could adjust, for example, was to cut off the AIRTEL subscription, because the AIRTEL subscription also increased. It increased from 5,000 to 7,000, and they reduced the amount of data they were offering from 1.5 to 1.3. So for AIRTEL, there was an increase in the cost and a reduction in the data, right? And overall, in all of this, the service became poorer. There were spaces I could join before without having issue, but these days, aside in Longmort's own terrible handling of eggs, there's also data problem. It's more difficult to even make calls with data. So we find out that the cost is increasing, the amount of data being given is reducing, and then the service is also reducing. And to rub this on our faces is that these companies, because sometimes they'll say, oh, cost of production is high, they are spending so much money, and those nonsense. We don't make those excuses for these guys. No, we should never do that. Because they keep declaring more and more profits every year. Their annual profits keeps increasing for these telecommunication companies. And not only they measure the banking industry is another one again, right? But they are all exploiting us. And their profits keeps increasing every year. And the salary of those who work in MTN, for example, is not increasing. So if, for example, we are paying more, it's okay, and those they are employing are receiving more in salaries, but their salaries are not increasing. Instead, they would even lay off more persons in order to spend less. So we are being used as a people, we are being exploited as a people, right? And the truth is, the exploitation will continue to really get worse until we say enough is enough. Another means of exploitation, in fact, we're being exploited from all areas, right? The telecommunication, the networks are like the ones that are just in our faces, because we pay for services and they don't give us the services. It makes it very bad. But there's also the loan apps by the side. There's also the banking industry by the side, where they charge us crazy amounts for SMS charges. There's DSTV also. We are being exploited on all fronts. Nigeria is a crime scene against Nigerians, against ordinary Nigerians. And that's why I keep saying that we need to stand up for ourselves. And we need to now start supporting leaders, right, who stand with us, stand for us, and feel our pain. But most importantly, we need to stand up for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Swaz. There's one thing you will notice about people who are talking. Thank you for that, fighting for my future. If there's one thing you will notice about the people who are talking, who are complaining, is that they are all workers. They are all people who worked for the money. So it is paying them. The people who stole the money don't need to complain, because what they need to do is steal again. They steal again and they can buy it. They don't even know how much data is. They don't know how much fuel is. So when you are complaining, they can't relate. So when you see people complaining, it is because they can relate. And like our leader has said, we are poised to take action. And who better to take action? Just like Liberation Chat said it yesterday, it is in the name, the African Action Congress. The Congress of the poor people, the Congress of the exploited people, ready to take action against all these big.
Guys, I think my phone is my system is gone again, because I might need to rejoin so that I can hear them. To refresh and rejoin, Twitter Spaces are like that sometimes, and I think it's probably some kind of internet misstep. This one is actually on Starlink, and Starlink is messing up. So I'm gonna go back to, I have an array of internet platforms that I'm subscribed to, and all of them are practically useless. MTN, Starlink, all of them are the same. So I'm going to try and get back in the show and keep you guys updated because it's still ongoing. It's still live. Okay. Okay.
On the internet, it is because we are yet to actually unmask Sowore the way we are supposed to unmask Sowore. So if we have done that, there will probably be no need for that again. So since it's a duty on us, let's get into it. This data people may have a personal problem about it, which is why does data expire? Because if I buy rice, if I don't cook the rice and eat it, the rice will not expire in my storehouse. It will remain here. So I think at this point that we are tired and the leader has raised the topic for us, which is a good moment for us to talk about it. We are tired of buying data and not seeing it. We are tired of subscribing today and tomorrow is gone. We are tired of being told your data has expired when we did not actually finish using it. This is not just annoyance for me, it is exploitation. You buy data, but you don't own it. Every day, millions of us, we load data from network like MTN. You know, I remember sometimes when Baba would say buy internet and then we will come back and say this internet has finished. And I'm like, we bought internet 50,000 naira. Last night, 50,000 naira, and this morning it has finished. We have to go and buy another network provider. Maybe MTN is the problem. Let's buy AIRTEL. And it's almost the same thing. You pay your money. Nobody is dashing you anything. It is not free. So tell me, why would I pay for a data that is expired? If I buy 10 gig, that 10 gig at least, I think it should be mine until I'm done using it. But in Nigeria, it's not like that. They will tell you 30 days, 7 days, and 1 day plan. If you don't finish it, they take it back, just like that. They will not refund you. There is no warning, nothing. So what did I really buy? The pain we are facing, ask anybody around you. People will tell you, my data just disappeared. I didn't even use it like that. Or I slept and woke up, everything is gone. Or I just subscribed yesterday. This thing is happening too much. And the fact that we have actually accepted it as a normal thing, I think that's one of the reasons we don't talk about it. Even when your phone is not in use, your data is still going. When network is bad, you cannot browse properly, your data is still going. So what exactly are we paying for? Bad network. Let's say we are paying for bad network. We are actually being defrauded. Fast drain data, in my own opinion, that's double suffering. The most painful part for me is that you will buy data, network will be slow, page will not even load, videos will not play, but your data is going. So you are not enjoying the service, you are losing your data. Now let's talk about cost of living. That is where everything gets serious. Nigeria is already hard. Food is expensive, transportation is expensive, rent is high, everything is rising. Now we want to add data to it. Data is no longer even locked, it is now survival. And you can't even survive in a generation like ours without internet, because we use data for work, online businesses, school, job application. Because now many Nigerians that are even living fine, they are not employed in Nigeria. Even bank will tell you there's no network. I don't know why the network that they own by themselves is not, they are telling you it's not available. And if you investigate it properly, you see that it's an effect of bad internet. So when your data is disappearing like this, we are forced to keep buying again and again. And this is life experience. We spend more than we plan, cut money from other important things. So if I have a budget of 100,000 naira to survive in a month, I budget 10,000 naira for data. But because of these issues, If I buy 10,000 yesterday, I can't even use it for 24 hours. So eventually, my budget for a month increases, and my salary is not even increasing. My earnings are not increasing. So the extra money could have been for food, for transport, or to support myself and family. And it's not small. The people who are supposed to protect Nigerians, the government, they are not even saying anything. They are quiet about it. So I think they have collaboration with this network provider there. So their job is supposed to be protecting Nigerians, but the question is, where are they? Data disappearing, poor network, no transparency. Yet nothing has changed. So why are telecommunication companies, why are they allowed to implement expired use data? Provide poor service without consequences.
Mr. Africanoid, are you there? Hello?
It might be his network.
The same affliction is still following us right now, because I can't even speak for a reason is that the internet is bad. The truth is simple. The system benefits from the company, not the people. That's it. I mean, these companies. And what we're asking for is not too much. Stop data expiry. Let data last until it is finished. Any unused data should move to the next plan. Show us clearly how data is used. If data expires wrongly, give it back to the owner. Enough of watching and just pretending like everything is normal. We are not asking for free data. We are only asking for what we paid for. We pay fully, we receive partially, and we lose silently. That is not business. It is exploitation. And until something changes, one truth remains that data in Nigeria is no longer expensive. It is unreliable, unfair, and quietly draining the pockets of everyday, even though the economy has already dealt with us. So I'm glad we are talking about this today, and we're not just going to be taking it to Twitter space. We're going to be putting our foot on ground to end this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is why I want us to channel our submissions on the problems, your own personal experience, and of course the solution. And Africa, what will be the solution, and of course what will be your suggestion in terms of action plan of what we should do moving forward?
I think that would come from my second submission, which has to do with unmasking Sowore. So I'm sure a lot of people are also learning from it. Now that we are unmasking Sowore, Sowore has actually raised this our problem that we have decided to be silent about. I want to share a little story about me I heard about Sowore for the first time. I heard about Sowore in 2015 during the election period. One of my bros, his name is Tayo, he told me about him. He said, this guy is different. He knew him when he was young. He said, if Nigerians truly want change and serious about leaving the old guys behind, Sowore is the kind of person we support. When I eventually met Sowore, I used to talk about old people. And Sowore would say, no, it is not about old people, it's about old ideas. This bros told me that Sowore has been fighting for justice for a long time, even when he was very young, during the military. He told me everything, but I had to make research myself. So I searched for him online. Then I found a video about him around 2012. That video is where he challenged the minister in New York, that it became something that escalated. As I started following him on social media, I noticed something. Whenever Nigerians have problems, they will tag Sowore. When there is police harassment, they will tag Sowore. Whenever there is any form of injustice, they will tag Sowore. When the government fails, we tag Sowore. People call on him. And this shows that many people trust him. They believe he will speak. They believe he will not ignore them. And personally, I've experienced it. We have seen it. We have seen a lot of testimonies, even some of the hypocrites who come online to say, yes, I know he helped me, but I know I called him, but you are a beneficiary of his activism. In 2019, when Baba wanted to run for president, I was very, very happy. I felt maybe, the time has come. But sadly, not everybody felt the same, because some people just want a temporary solution to their problem. And that's not what we need. We need a permanent solution to this permanent problem. Some people will come up and say Sowore does not have experience. But so far so good, since independence, we have been having people with experience the first president in 1999. He's an experienced man. After him, he was another experienced man from deputy governor to governor and then becoming vice president. Another experienced man, Buhari, that they said, oh, this man has been there. Another experience. So, me, I don't fully understand this. Some people will even say his words are too harsh. But these people are treating our life in a very, very harsh way. So, like Baba used to say, if you treat us in an unruly manner, you will get an unruly response. How can someone who has been speaking about Nigeria problem for years, offering solutions and standing for the people suddenly become not good enough? Sometimes it feels like Nigerians are even afraid of doing change.
So essentially,
we are not experiencing
you are saying that I support of this whole Occupy telco companies situation, and of course, if it were to happen tomorrow, you'll be part of it 100%. Is that what you are saying?
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you so much. Let's pass the mic. Thank you so much, Africa Noid. Your contribution was quite very, very important. Yeah, my co-host, Aduke Adegi, any comments before we pass the mic?
So Paul, I just want to add to what our brother just said. For me and my family, just like how they said in the Bible, we will vote for Sowore. We will support. I mean, I'm proud to say I'm a generational supporter of Sowore.
It's no time for campaign yet.
No, I'm not campaigning. I'm just stating it. I just have to state it. Me, my father voted for Sowore. He has been voting for Sowore. Me too, I voted for Sowore. So let's go on.
Thank you so much. Let's solve this because this telco issue is a cross-party situation. It's a struggle that cuts across everybody in Nigeria. Whether or not you are APC, you are PDP, you are CPC, it's a general problem. And of course, many would argue that this highlights a very important part of Sowore, that he is basically a pro-people person. He's not basically dealing with stuff just because it favors his party or he favors himself and all of those things. So yeah, let's get to the cup. Let's pass the mic to Fight for My Freedom. Then after that, Engineer OJ prepare to speak. Then after that, Ohaihe prepare to speak. Then we'll go to budget. Then NMD. Then let's go that route. Please, let's take 4 minutes each, please. And of course, let's tailor our submission around data, what your experience is, and give us a glimpse of how it has affected you, and of course, your recommendation, your solution. Are you in or you're out? If there's an organized protest against this telco tomorrow or today, will you be out? Boots on the ground. That's what we want to know. Thank you so much. Fight for My Freedom, please, over to you.
Good afternoon, Nigerians. Good afternoon, revolutionaries. Good afternoon, Nigerians. I don't even know how I want to rant now. But I go mix the language. Anyhow when I hear them, I just get the point. It is very, very disheartening, and I am so angry. You see, this topic, it has been something that has been burning in my own heart personally, and I've been burning in a lot of people's hearts. Because, help me make it make sense. As I am speaking now, I'm on top of somewhere because I need to speak about this one. When I get de facto, as I speak like this, I did on top of somewhere so that I will see network where I will see people talk about this matter.
Is it like a mountain?
My sister, you will not understand. Moving forward.
It's a special network spot.
Like the position where I don't service they come. If I move an inch now,
everywhere you go.
If I move an inch, come up for where I did now, I go just go. And I don't go see me again for here. So I just need to maintain my position now. Moving forward, do you guys know that just like every other speaker has said, salary they increase, small businesses they close down. Me now, I don't see work for government. I create business for myself. Government no allow me jobs because I work with data. I know how much I spend every day. I know how much how I see my money, all my profits for all the old job where I do because I don't fit do one job. You know it's possible for this Nigeria make you survive on one job, except maybe with thief. So now all my job now it require data, and they need data every time. To crown it all, my parents, because of say this system don't subject them, no middle class again, so they don't subject them to poor class. They will still need support from me and my other ones. Now we still dey fund those ones. Have it in mind, my dad is a retired judge, but he has been subjected to the poor class because he did not relate with the people in power to continue to steal and loot, to be corrupt. Now all of these things are happening. The government no talk anything. The government no say anything because they want us to stop talking online. They don't want to ever see us. They just want to continue to enjoy and treat us the way they like. But no, God no go gree for them. We get our papa, Baba Show. God will bless you. God will continue to bless you, Baba Show. See that kingdom come, it is freedom or nothing, honestly speaking. Now, if I say the way make I dey talk, if you just throw away me.
So are you in or out?
As a member of the Take It Back movement, if there is a protest now, my direct in my head as I dey talk like this.
Thank you so much.
Like this. So we don't get protest like this already. We don't.
Thank you so much.
Like Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. That was quite revolutionary, and of course, geared towards action. So let's take Engineer Hoji.
I just want to quickly indicate, please share the space. Let more people come. Let more Nigerians be a part of this struggle. This struggle cuts across the nation. Share the space. Invite your friends, your fathers, your mothers, everyone. Let them come. Let them share. This is how we know. If so, if Baba Show no talk now, so everybody can keep quiet, just they die. Please let's make this happen. Thank you so much.
The good thing about it is when you're about to buy your data or subscribe, they don't ask you your party. They don't even ask what tribe you are. So it affects everybody, whether we like it or not. So it is better to speak out. This is another section for Soros. Okay, so because they are not stopping anytime soon. So let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Of course, if you do not resist exploitation, they will think that you be mumu. They go intensify, and of course, they have been intensifying this exploitation just because the Nigerian people have not resisted. And of course, I think we are gearing towards. We don't enter GR5 of that resistance, generation now. So Engineer OJ, the mic belongs to you. Power mic belongs to you. Speak powerfully, and let's hear your experience and of course your recommendation moving forward. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity, and revolutionary greetings to our comrade presidents and all the revolutionary comrades in this GLO meeting. I will also say that power belongs to the Nigerian people, and but observatorily, I would like to say that choices has consequences, elections has consequences. And the consequences is where we are now today. This bad marriage, is one that we have to end, or it must be remedied. A lot of Nigerians, I believe, in a larger scale, have a lot of testimonies that are very negatively directed towards the services rendered by these, despotic, organizations and establishment against the Nigerian people. And we know very well that a lot of them have led to, miscarriages, in this marriage, of transactions. A lot of Nigerians have committed suicide due to, depressions from loss of data, disconnections from communications while making calls, loss of jobs, because they can't access network, and and some even went into fraudulent ways because they just need to have data and connect. Some of them have even, got killed because, they could have been any channel of, efficient communications tools that these organizations or, fraudulent organizations, have refused or decided to milk Nigerians just because without any apologies, larger numbers of Nigerians have chosen, criminal leaders, tyrants and capitalists to take over our governance system. And this is always a byproduct. But I would like to say that I'm glad that Nigerians are coming to it. It might be slow. The momentum is, building up, and liberations are very quite near. But I will say this as a recommendation, which is already established in our DNA as revolutionary. Democracy, in democracy, demonstrations is the only lifeline for citizens. So what we have at this stage is that these capitalist leaders, these tyrants in governance space, are not going to listen to us. In fact, they are the orchestrators of the cry we are crying today because of their tunnels of looting us. They exploit us through taxations, through these telecommunications, in all ramifications, in all areas of life. The purchasing powers of citizens are completely been destroyed. Nigerians are left helpless. The exploitations of these Nigerians must end. This exploitation by this corrupt establishment must come to an end. And thank God we have leadership, and our mom must begin to regain values, that we might be able to have purchasing power. So what we do is we can't go to our leaders. They won't listen to us. They are connivers in this criminal, dubious, fraudulent act of this telecoms, establishment. And it is demonstration that must bring an end to this nonsense. And citizens must begin to acknowledge that fact that the sovereignty of the people lies on their demonstrative power. So we are into this business, and that is the way we have to go. And I will appeal to Nigerians, everyone that are here, sincerely, I will appeal to Nigerians that let us not wait until Nigerian that is happening to us has completely eliminated us before we begin to become humans. Our thinking ability should come active. And we must, if we really want to save our country, collectively support he that fight for our rights. That is the only thing we can do. There must be that collective support to him that fight for our rights. Not even fighting MTN, GLO, AIRTEL, and that dubiousness in existence, but we must have, fight this dubiousity of leaders that are, that are aliens in our country. These guys are aliens, and they are the ones that are using this plus tool to milk us. As we head towards, what we believe to be a transition season, we must come to elect a leader that will stand to correct it institutionally. Thank you very much. Protest is the way to go. Let us demonstrate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Let's move the mic. But before we move the mic, Comrade President, any comments so far so good before we move the mic?
Well, thank you very much for all the great commentary that I'm hearing and loving. And most Nigerians are also tapped into this because I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on TikTok, I'm also live on Facebook and here on Twitter. A lot of people are in agreement with us. I would say majority of the listeners that are all connected to this are they are in touch with us. But also we must not forget that this is a bigger struggle of exploitation of the masses by both our own governments in their complicity and multinational corporations. But there's another thing we must not forget in the course of this, that it is also tied to remuneration. It's tied to workers' welfare. I'm also hearing, as we're speaking, from a lot of people who are reaching out, that in the middle of this is also a major crisis of workers who are hired by these companies and never given full employment. So they call them contract staff. And I'm sure you guys have mentioned, you've heard me talk about it before, even before this whole data exploitation, Occupy MTN struggle, that we have to fight for Nigerians. I met some recently at the Federal High Court, worked for UBA for 17 years, and they were just fired and given 700,000 naira. But these telcos as well are also using contract staff and paying them slave wage, spinach. So these struggles, and if you're hearing me, you're a contract staff and you're on this, or somebody will let you know later, join this struggle so that we have a quality of life struggle at once. When we fight in this party and in our movement and others who join us in our struggle, we fight for everything at once. And like I keep saying to most of you, we talk about the revolution all the time, but we don't know which button we will push that will make the revolution happen. So let's mobilize adequately for this, and let's start talking. I know we want to talk about how bad we feel about this data, these companies, that and this, but at the end, we should be moving towards solution. We should be directing ourselves towards organizing. Because if we agonize and not organize, the problems will not go away. And how are we different? We are the people who stand up for the Nigerian people all the time. And I know that we get all of that whole pushback all the time. Oh, you're not good enough. You are just for protests, But have we not come to the conclusion now, largely from across board in this country, that people are giving us thumbs up? They are saying they have a vote of confidence in the way we have addressed issues in this country. But nobody has been doing that the way we have. In fact, if we don't exist in this country today, the people in government and their collaborators and those people who claim they are not in government but also don't want things to change would have buried the Nigerian people. That is why we stand up for big things and we stand up for small things, because it's a combination of big struggles and small struggles that would lead to the revolutionary future that all of us have been talking about in our movement and across Nigeria. You look at where we're coming from, 2019 in particular, when we started revolution now, nobody understood it. Everybody disagreed with us. Now everybody's talking about the revolution. Even those who initially said, well, you can't do a revolution until we do an election. We told them that our goal is twofold, that we can get to the revolution by ballot or we can get to revolution by the barricade. Whichever one comes first, we're good to go. We're ready. We're prepared. Thank you very much. I yield once again.
Thank you so much, my leader. Thank you so much. I'm just going to read this out. I'm going to read this out. It's a tweet I came across. I hope you can all hear me. It says, MTN recovered 2 trillion naira in just 3 days, They said no more borrowing airtime until you clear your old debts. No long talk, no begging, no next month excuses. They simply locked the credit app and the money started pouring in like never before. 2 trillion naira in the poverty capital of the world. Absolutely ridiculous. The next person, my host, who is the next person that I'll be speaking with?
Who are you, please? Okay. What do you say, Aduke? Who do you say is next? Larry, okay, Larry, please go for it. Then after Larry, it will be who?
OIA.
Okay, let's go that route. Yeah, Larry, please
good
proceed.
afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, my president. Good afternoon, comrades. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Let me tell you my experience with network internet issues personally. There was this particular evening as of December last year, I started learning crypto, and that night we were kind of trading. I put like $50 inside, and for like 5 minutes, or I had data, I had enough data, but there was no network. I tried with every possible means. There was no data. I wasn't able to. And at the end of the day, my $50 crashed at the crypto market. And that was how I lost my $50. And I even had to
Mr. Larry, what is the minimum wage you get in Nigeria, if I remember correctly?
$70. I mean 70,000.
70,000.
So,
and you lost 50,000.
Yeah, that was which it in less than 30 minutes. And I called their customer care. They told me that I have to wait for like 24 hours for them to restore my network. I say,
Did they tell you that when you were buying the internet? Was there any legal agreement?
They didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me that. So that was how I lost my money, and also the ambition as a crypto trader. I lost interest because I cannot withstand some of those things. And secondly, on this call, on this Twitter space today, I think I bought like 5 gig this morning. You know, I was a speaker before, and the gig is finished. I have to go back and buy another 10 gig to add so that I could be able to be on this live Twitter, so we'll have conversations. And so many times, whenever I go on live, you just see that the network will automatically disconnect you. You call this, what's going on? There is data, there is this. But nothing is being done about it. You buy data at extremely high price. There is no value. There is no network. There is nothing. If you try to call customer care, sometimes, on so many occasions, customer care used to hang up call me that I'm calling to complain that there is network problem. To the extent that I think they are cheap at me. I discover a click. Whenever I call that the customer wants to talk to me, I'll tell them, please, I don't want to talk to you. Please, can you connect me? Can you connect me to your supervisor? Because their supervisors are more deliberate. They always tell you what it is and what the circumstances that. But majority of the customer care, they will just tell you there's no problem, switch off your phone, re-on your phone again, wait after 5 minutes. You might wait for 1 hour, nothing will happen. But if you tell them to, because I've done that so many occasions, I just tell them, once they pick, please, can you connect me to your supervisor? What I want to tell you, you cannot handle it. Let me know my fate. If it is something that can switch network. And funny part of this conversation is I have 2 Wi-Fis, MTN and GLO. And if you think that GLO is good and maybe AIRTEL is bad, connect to GLO. You discover that GLO is more terrible than even the particular one you're using. Now you have to switch to MTN. You discover that MTN self, you can't even have WhatsApp call. And just imagine that you are buying network and data for these 3 lines. Just this week, money that I've spent for data is going to like 50,000 naira. And how much be my minimum wage? How much am I earning? What was my source of income that I will be spending just a week over 20,000 naira for data that I cannot also use the same data to whatever I'm supposed to do online? It's just crazy. So for me, this particular, in short, was it when I was even trying to contact my lawyer that I need to sue MTN? He told me that we should have conversation about it, then we'll sue them. But this particular struggle, I'm 100%. If now everybody will come out.
So yeah, so in a nutshell, you are 100% locked in, right?
I'm already locked in.
Thank you so much. Let's pass the mic. Thank you very much, Larry, for that very insight, because you basically shared your personal experience. You made reference to how it affected you, and you basically validated the fact that you are very much interested in handling it and participating in actions that will end it. Let's pass the mic to Hawaii. Hawaii, greetings to you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here. I've been here. Good to have current president Sowore among us today. I would actually like to pass my own mic to Jade. Jade is on the call. She has a first-hand experience with all of those people. But before then, I want to remind Nigerians that you should understand that when MTN came on board into our country under the Obasanjo era, MTN was the most dubious telecommunication company to have entered any part of Africa from South Africa that they came from. In fact, MTN announced then that they made over 100% profit compared to what they have made in 10 years in South Africa that they started their company from. You know, That is MTN. At MTN, they all are in this cahoots, form of extortion or kind of mental disturbance on our people to, whatever profit from them, But let me just permit me to pass the mic to Jay so she can share her own first-hand experience with what MTN is doing to our people and what all these telecommunication are also doing to our people. Thank you. Jay, please see if you can take the mic.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thank you so much. Jay?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Omoyele Sowore. Thank you so much for this and for everyone that has made this possible. So my issue with MTN was that my line was deactivated and was sold to another user. So it happened, that was last year, around October. I tried logging into my WhatsApp. Then I realized that my WhatsApp wasn't working. So I reached via their Instagram handle to let them know that, I've tried logging in, my WhatsApp, my number doesn't seem to be working, what's happening? So it was then that the customer service personnel that attended to me said that my number has been recycled and sold to another customer. I was shocked because, number one, my NI is still linked to that number, and that's the most important. So I was asking to another person while I'm still alive. So she said that the lady said that as long as that line has not been active for more than 360 days, there has not been chargeable transaction, in our words, on that line, then it's going to be recycled and given to another customer. So by charge transaction, I'm reading out the message on Instagram. She says, so I was asking, what does it mean? It says, make a call, receive a call, send an SMS, subscribe to a data bundle or value added bundle. So as long as you don't do all of that for 360 days, your line is going to be deactivated. So I said, while I understand all of this, did you also take measures to unlink my NI from that number? Because if that person commits any crime or does anything illegal, it's still going to be traced back to me because my name is still registered on that number. So how do you solve that? I was told to probably log on, go to NIN and try to sort that out. So I made her know that, okay, I'm not in the country. So how am I going to do that? I also said, what if I'm able to, I need this number because that's my only Nigerian line. So when I go to Nigeria, for instance, I'll be in Nigeria next year. When I go to Nigeria next year, what number do you want me to use? Do you want people in the diaspora to keep obtaining numbers every time they visit Nigeria? I am here does not mean I'm not still a Nigerian. So why should you sell? I understand if you say you deactivated the line, but that you sold the line to another user. That's the part I don't understand. Because if you deactivate it...
And I also have to seek clarification with the fact that were you notified like 7 days, a month before deactivation?
Yes, according to them, they said that they notified me. I checked my SMS. Yes, indeed, I was notified a couple of times. but I did not, I didn't have any reason to load data on that number. So I didn't recharge on that number, but I was still using the number on my WhatsApp. But that message, I only saw it once because I rarely check my SMS. So I was telling them that I would have preferred if they communicated via other means, maybe probably via emails, because I know I check my emails a lot. If peradventure I had been communicated with via emails, yeah, I would have. But on SMS, I think I only saw it once because I hardly check my SMS. So yes, they sent that SMS.
That is still not a legitimate reason for them to basically sell your number to a person, because they can just basically deactivate or suspend it for a while. Because they are that would mean that they are saying that they have run out of numbers that they want to make up for people. And that is
quite yes. If you deactivate the number and I'm unable to go on WhatsApp, then I know that, oh, I really need to recharge this line for me to keep it. So that's a way for you to make me take an action on that line. But you sold that number to another person while my NI is still linked. That's my problem with what has happened. Because security-wise, I am not safe. I am not safe. You didn't take, you took measures to inform me, but you didn't take measures to
come to Nigeria today, they can use that number to locate you, pretty much, and trace your movement, because they have your information, or perhaps the person that is holding that number, who has committed a crime, or perhaps potentially, they can basically use it to link you, or perhaps, implicate you, basically.
Exactly.
That's data breach, right?
I even tried to reach out to the person using that number now, but unfortunately, the person is in the north. She's an Hausa woman. And I don't really understand what she was saying. She speaks Hausa, yet doesn't. I tried reaching out to her, and the lady also cannot even use WhatsApp because I had already set up 2 steps of authentication on that line. So the new user cannot even use it on WhatsApp, and I can't use it on WhatsApp either. And all effort to try.
What network are you talking about here?
I'm talking about MTN.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much. It's nice to have this feedback, and of course, I believe Comrade President would like to react to that. What do you think about this situation, sir?
Can you hear me?
Are you there, sir? Comrade President, are you there?
I am here, but I think
perhaps all the MTN and AIRTEL.
Or perhaps he's still very much engaged because I understand.
Can you hear me now?
Basically on Instagram and other platforms.
Can you hear me now?
Let's keep the
Yes. Can you hear me now?
The MTN. We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. You're audible now. You're audible now.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Did you get Jade's
yes, I was
experience
listening.
with
I was listening to all of this exists within the context of the responsible services delivery of these companies. Yeah, typically when they want to transition your number, or what do they do to it? Just recycle it. They contact you, but if they do recycle it, the person to whom it is assigned must have their number, their info, biometric data, sent to that new recycled number. So if it's still on her part, then she must do everything she can. Because we, at a point, I think it was last year, had to go bail a youth copper out of police. When the recycled number given to her was, they recycled a number to her, but the number had been used for kidnapping before. And they got her arrested, brought her to Abuja. But the luck she had was that when the number was given to her, assigned to her, she had her information on it, and the date was there. Even at that, it took us quite some time with Barrister Tokwe Temoko getting this girl out. We had to go to the FID in Abuja to get out. Otherwise, if we hadn't been involved, she would be there for a long time. So we must maybe we can find people who can assist her within our movement. If we can get her information through one of our moderators here, who can help her navigate, making sure that her information is removed from that number, or for them to reassign the number back to her if she still wants it, since her biometric information is available on that number. Otherwise, one day she'll get into trouble.
That's very scary. That's very scary. And this is the normal experience of the Nigerian people. All right. Yeah. The customer service is absolute rubbish. Adege, you want to say something? Yeah.
Sorry, I would just like to quickly ask, who do I reach out to if I want to get the number back? Who do I need to reach out to?
Well, it has to be MTN. Yes, it has to be MTN. But what I'm saying is that if you're not in the country, you can reach out to, the Unstoppable Friends of Sowore's DM, and we can have somebody connect you with an MTN staff who might be able to help. But that would be something aside from what we want to do now, because I think it's a problem we can solve on a relatively low level of intervention. I don't think it is more serious thing. But it's important that you have expressed this, because, as I said, there have been people who were wrongfully picked up for armed robbery because their lines were recycled and without proper documentation. And again, it speaks to how irresponsible these companies are. But because I want to leave, but I'm just going to ask if we can maybe just tone down the testimonies and go to action, because a lot of people who are listening to us want to hear what we do next. The stories, everybody's story is almost the same. Everybody's tired of these MTN scams, or the general irresponsible nature of the telcos and how they treat or maltreat Nigerians. It's not only telcos. We're talking about power companies, especially the ones that are distributing electricity directly to customers. You're hearing about DSTV, all of them. But on top of this is the data thieves at MTN. So if a moderator can take us very quickly to have people who suggest what is the best action we should be taking right now, and those who might be on ground in several parts of the country to take action instead of continuous testimony that we've been taking. They are very important. And I must also say that a lot of people are complaining that we are not speaking more female voices, but I'm glad that the last person is female. But please listen, because they probably even experience this more, because they are involved in a lot of very urgent use of data. People who have their children in school somewhere and they have to leave job and they have to order things. What's the kind of life they have. So please, let's continue to grant our female speakers and participants the latitude to speak about these issues. And it's not even related to this alone. It's the same with the broader struggle for a better Nigeria. Thank you. But let's go to discussing issues so that we can start having volunteers regarding information regarding action that needs to be taken, one, and secondly, what do we do next, and who wants to do what from where. That's my advice and counsel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our revolution. Okay, yeah. Unstoppable, feel free. Go ahead. Okay. Thank you so much, our revolutionary. Thanks so much, our revolutionary leader. Thank you for that. Now we are moving to the next phase. Action, action, action. Many people don't understand the importance of organization. It is easy to mobilize. It is not easy to organize. That's why you see your favorite guys, when it comes to call people outside, they can easily call people outside. But to keep them coordinated, to keep them like a spear, driven in one direction, take aim, cause, the necessary impact is very difficult. But we are training ourselves and we are poised. We have done this not once, not twice. In fact, we have a career of executing, of organizing, and getting results. We have a sterling record of doing that. The next step now is to put our heads together, organize ourselves across the nation, and begin to take effective action, both online and offline. We have our publicity secretary in the house. We have other leaders in the house. We have our class rep in the house. This community here is supposed to lead us to taking those actions. So many of us are around the country in different places. Liberation, how do you suggest we go about this?
I think the next line of action now, with respect to who should speak next, I think there's no better person that can basically start that organizing process, or perhaps suggest to us how we want to mobilize. Because the Take It Back movement is legendary when it comes to organizing the people towards a cause. And of course, we are privileged to have the national coordinator of Take It Back movement in our midst, Comrade Juwon Sonyaolu. It's a pleasure to have you once again. Comrade Juwon, what would be your suggestion? And of course, from the standpoint of Take It Back movement.
All right, thank you so much, comrades. I sincerely appreciate you folks for putting together this very timely conversation, and I mean, special appreciation particularly to Commissioner for starting this conversation around data cost. And I mean, I know Commissioner did mention that no testimonies, but unfortunately, to reach my phone now, I don't find a testimony. But it's fine. Because I mean, we all have very crazy experiences with data, and particularly, my dad was a contract worker with MTN, and he was fired. Was the French was among those who were the French in 2017 in the most unceremonious way, and he actually, at the back, I would argue that was the point. He could understand my activity, because prior to then, he and I disagree a lot over activity, and the first thing is, it took the function of organizing his colleagues who are also went illegally and challenged MTN to court. So I speak to this because when Commissioner was talking about how workers are victims of the exploitation of some of these big telcos, I can relate with it from the standpoint of direct experience. And yes, and I think, as we mentioned, philosophers have interpreted the point, change the pitches, what we're speaking to, taking action on the field. And this subject primarily is a subject that affects the majority of young people, and particularly platform workers. And informal workers, so to speak, and this is largely the demography. This largely is a demographic dominated largely by young people. So there is an opportunity to connecting widely, just like NSAS. And I think what needs to happen is we announce action and take on put a date to it and take on the responsibility of actively organizing towards it. Because the major challenge with the telecom, perhaps some of us have raised this point before. It's not just about the greedy character of most of MTN, GLO, and what have you. It is that we have a government that, rather than regulating the multinationals, they are regulating the people. So for in the interest of these multinationals, it is a situation of people over profit. So that if we do not have government that is particularly complicit in the crime of exploiting the Nigerian people to protect the big capitalists, we are not going to be in this situation in the first instance. And which is why the solution, like we have all maintained, the solution to this crisis is political. which can be on the ballot, which implies that we must continue to mobilize and vote for political parties that actually prioritize these people over profit and not the other way around, which is the character of the ruling class over several years. And of course, like we are rightly established, we definitely cannot wait till the bourgeois electoral calendar before organizing and taking our destinies into our own hands, which speaks to the reason to begin the organizing now. So how we say part of what should we communicate here is to pick a date to start with. And I do not want to be the person who makes suggestion of a specific date, but I think picking a date should be an important line of action, and it should be as soon as possible. 2 weeks from now, perhaps, that will avail us proper mobilizing time. And I think that in doing this, we need to connect with as many social media users as possible, including so-called influencers, quote and unquote, because most of them really are young people who have a problem data cost or data unreliable. In fact, our data are not largely reliable. So this will be my own immediate intervention at this stage, that we pick a date or we give ourselves a timeline a timeline of 2 weeks of mobilization, and then we hit the streets. I'm not sure there is any other better mobilization strategies than actually mobilizing, getting to work. So yeah, I think I would want to step down at this point. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my leader. He has given us the direction. 2 weeks from now, we'll be taking action. We are over 500 people on this space, and we must connect with ourselves. We must carry ourselves along. There must be a medium of communication that is consistent in terms of organizing. That is the hard work, and we need to do it as Nigerians. It is not easy. It is not easy for us to come together. This is not something that we are used to doing. But this pain cut across board. Regardless of your tribe, regardless of your religion, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your gender, across board. And we must be able to bring our heads together, organize to liberate ourselves. This practice, just like you're going to the gym, you practice one, you go, you lift 10 kg, you fail, you come back again. In due time, before you know it, it becomes rhythm. So, what I would like us to do, first of all, follow the Unstoppable Friends of Sowore. This particular account here, this community, follow it. Key information will be coming out to tell us the next steps, the subsequent steps moving forward. After you do that, follow our leader, Sowore. I'm sure you must have seen the latest hashtag in town. Hashtag Stop the Exploitation. Hashtag AAC our party. Use those hashtags as well, because we must politicize it. Our organization must be behind an organization. Something that we can hold on to and say, this is the roots, this is the core, this is where the energy is coming out from. And when we win a particular struggle through this organization, there are subsequent struggles that we will win moving forward. So follow, look forward to the information. This is an important time to let you know that we are working on the publicity and the campaign for our organization, to Take It Back and the African Action Congress and the Unstoppable Friends of Sowore. Please, if you want to be a part of the campaign team going forward, feel free to slide into our DMs, the DM of the Unstoppable Friends of Sowore, the DM of Aduke, the DM of myself, Adege. Come in. This is the People's Party. We don't hide anything. All we just need is to put you in the WhatsApp group. Be there. All the information is shared. You receive it firsthand. We have calls. We talk amongst ourselves as normal youths. No big manism. No denomilaye wearing $2,000 shirt. Nobody kicking you when you want to hide under the rain. No. Come in. Come and do the work and just liberate yourself so that you can. Let me tell you, I don't know if this is the time to tell my story of how Nigeria failed me. When I was in university, I had a friend, very brilliant young man, tech genius. What he did at the point in time was we had a Wi-Fi in our school. What he did at the time was bad. It was slow, useless as usual. What he did was to buy a booster. He bought a booster. I don't know how he configured it, but his internet was very fast. Me, Ogologo, I looked at it and I said, how can we make money from this? He said that he can share it. I said, okay, no problem. I'll tell students to come. We'll be collecting 100 naira from their hand. We'll be giving them fast internet. We started doing it. We left school. I called him. Can we turn this into a business and make it big? Yes, we can. I said, wonderful. We had people who were willing to support us. We're just young. How old are we? 20, 21, 19. We're just young. You know, we started calling. We spoke with MTN. We spoke with Fiber, Main One. We spoke with GLO. We spoke with Huawei. We spoke with Nokia. At the point in time, we're thinking about bringing 5G because this guy I told you about, extremely brilliant guy, genius people, Nigerian feels people and their future just, you know. The guy was talking about 5G way back then. And we were talking about it. This is when MTN was still testing 5G in South Africa. When we went to the Huawei office, after talking with them, planning the meeting with the board of directors, we got to Huawei. The person who was supposed to have a meeting with us walked past us 3 times because he did not believe that. He did not know that we were the people he had been talking to on phone all this while. Because how were we dressed? We all carry school bag, we wear jeans, we wear our Crocs, we entered inside the office, we sat down with this man. We were talking, everybody's wearing suits, we were talking. They gave us a code, we planned everything. We had already started, you know, and we had customers, schools, hotels that were already giving internet to. We were starting an ISP, basically. An ISP, like just like Smile and all these other ones that you see in Nigeria. That's what we're starting. We have customers we're already working with, schools were satisfied. Because we're young, we believe that these things, we brought our ideology into data. We believe that data was life. Let everybody have this thing free. And we knew how it was abroad because we're privileged to travel abroad. We saw how cheap data was. Why can't people have it? We're inspired. Okay, what next? We registered the company. We went to NCC. We told them we'd like to work on, because you have to buy your frequency to broadcast, right? You have to broadcast to buy frequency. There are frequencies that are reserved for the military. There are frequencies that are reserved for the radio. Then there are frequencies that, you know, you can broadcast for internet, right? And we told them, okay, we want to buy the frequency, What did they tell us? They told us that the people who we want to compete against, our competition, the big boys, have bought up the frequencies. So we have to go and rent frequency from them. I have to go and rent from my own competition. How am I supposed to survive? What if they do what they do to Nigerian people to us? And that was how that dream died. We tried. The cost of living went up. You know, everything. That dream died. And that was the end of the dream. So me, personally, I have a personal beef, a personal vendetta with all these guys for killing one of my dreams. And after they killed that dream, I cannot be your new, I cannot provide internet to you anymore. What did I become? A revolutionary. So this is the work that Nigeria has given me, this revolutionary work, and I'm doing it fervently to liberate my people. Thank you so much, Nigerians. Let us get to work. I believe the next person is Aduke. Is there anything you'd like to add before I pass the mic? Aduke, are you there? Experiencing some.
Wow, interesting. Well, let's pass the mic. Let's move forward as fast as we can. Let's pass the mic to Mark Noon. Mark Noon, you have been here for quite a while. So after Mark Noon, we'll go to Adedeji. Yeah, wow, powerful comrade. Then we'll go to Okoro James, then Inamdi, then Prince. Of course, the last person that will go will be Lucky Felix. So let's take that cue. Mark Noon, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I don't know if I'm loud and clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Mr. Omoyele Sowore. I think it's nice having you on the space again. We thank God that today you are not running away. And I also thank God that you are somebody who promotes free speech, who doesn't allow anybody to be gagged. And I believe that you are going to protect me on this space because I'm going to say the truth the way I see it.
Mr. Mark,
can I get a confirmation from you, Mr. Omoyele, sir?
Mr. Macnon, I hope you would not misuse your privilege. I believe. I want to believe it will be a
No. Mr. Omoyele knows me. Right. I have a strong personality like him, but I also keep it respectful and clean.
Okay. So, if that will be the
two of us have very hot heads, but we're also very, very civil and clean. So first thing first is that. So what are the key actions for me? I think that we need to first unpack a lot of things. What are the existing laws? What are the existing NCC regulations? By the way, I just wanted to correct you a bit. No ISP, no telco has bought up all the internet frequencies in Nigeria. None of them whatsoever. So if they lied to you, I think that you should have called Mr. Omoyele to actually do more research and also help you about that. But it is not. But none of them whatsoever. So having said that, let's not go back and forth on it.
Yeah, I know. I just want to set the record straight on that. Thank you very much, Mr. McLean. It's something that anybody here can just type on Google. What is the condition of the frequencies in Nigeria and how much of them have been commodified? By just type it on Google and have the information. It's not something, I don't want you to argue with you, Mr. McLean. I went to the SEC office, I used the connections I had, I called people. Well, this was a pain and a struggle I went to. Feel free to, don't take my word for it, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's why I said that people should not take your words for it. Thank you for also reiterating that. So, what are the key actions that people should do? First thing first, what are the existing NCC regulations in terms of even recycled numbers? NCC has regulated mandatorily that telcos must unlink NIN. Unfortunately, telcos unlinking NIN from old numbers on their own side does not remove or unlink those numbers from other digital footprints, does not unlink them from your bank, does not unlink them from your loan apps, does not unlink them from your crypto wallets or all of those things. So when we understand that okay, these are the gaps, the unlinking gaps, we can come up with actions beyond protest, beyond mobilizing. So my own action, key action first, is that Mr. Omoyele, I find it very, very disheartening. I find it very sad that as brilliant as you are, you have never sponsored any bill whatsoever for the benefit of the majority of Nigerians. I like the fact that you do a lot of uzobu, a lot of protests. I love your fight against VDM. I think it's very personal between both of you, but I think that it is nice. However, you have not done anything whatsoever that would affect 70-80% of Nigerians. Not even in 1993 democratic struggle. You can't lay claim to it, personally. So I think that, no, please don't gag me. Please don't gag me. Mr. Omoyele is here. Mr. Omoyele is here.
But you have to talk to him, sir. It's not his responsibility to do that. You should pay the government.
Mr. Omoyele is a good friend. He will answer himself. I need to tackle him on Clubhouse.
That is not his responsibility. Why do you have the government?
Mr. Omoyele, can you speak for yourself?
You should know the rules and the use of government before you ask that.
Mr. Omoyele,
Mr. McLean, sorry everyone. Mr. McLean, you don't have to shout. Just go on with your and you don't have to call Mr. He's here. He can hear you. You don't have to call his name many, many times. He's here. He's not gone anywhere. You've been here all along. You followed this space. Just proceed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for for voice shaming me. It's interesting that you know that my voice is loud and you come here to voice shame me. So thank you for it. Thank you for also not being fair. And I think that is not democratic. Mr. Omoyele is here. I'm referring to him. Somebody unmuted their mic. I've been here. Did not unmute. Even though so many of the things that you people have been saying, I don't support. And this is democracy. This is what Mr. Omoyele preaches. Let people be able to speak freely. And then you gag me and then you throw subtle jabs at me. But we will not get distracted. The way Mr. Omoyele never allows himself to get distracted. So that is one. Now, number two is that even on the customer side, there are things that you can do that keep your number services that you can pay a fee for 1 to 3 years. If we do not support or are in agreement with the laws, I think that our duty as Take It Back, I am a member of Take It Back movement. Ade, you said that a WhatsApp group, I'm going to drop my number with you, and I hope that you are going to add me on the WhatsApp group so that we will not have an echo chamber of Take It Back movement in quotes. Now, so,
all right.
Mr. You want to gag me again, or you want me to speak?
Can you please round up, please? Just round up.
Okay.
So we can move to the next topic.
I am very sure Mr. Omoyele is not sending you guys back channel messages to stop me from speaking. But however, if he decides to keep quiet, I would think and I would agree that he's doing that. So,
this is not one of those agenda spaces. This is a very serious issue. Do not derail this conversation. Just go straight to your submission or your question.
Thank you, sir.
Don't play that.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. So nobody is gagging and nobody will also police the way I have my conversation. Particularly because it's Mr. Omoyele's space. Very beautiful man.
You have 2 more minutes to round up, please. Thank you.
This is what Nigerian government does. When they want to gag you, they tell you that you have a limit to your rights, which is fine. So the second thing is that the customers, there is a know your number service that you can do. That you can, pay a fee for and keep your numbers. Now, the third one, and this is to Mr. Omoyele Sowore, you cannot be pro-Nigeria.
Hold on. Everybody came onto the space to ask just one question. So let him address you. I think
I have 2 more minutes, so let me just finish my 2 more minutes.
I think you should allow him talk. Thank you. Please, comrade, you can answer him, please.
I actually think I would have loved for him to finish that last question. What's the question? He was trying to.
God bless you, Mr. Cobb. I know that you let me finish.
You are just repeating the same thing.
No, let him say that there was something he was going
to. Thank you for allowing me to finish. That's why I like you. God will continue to bless you. So the third one is that if you are pro-Nigerians, then I think that you may not necessarily be pro-business, but you should not be anti-business. And I think that you should take a very, very objective position, grounded in serious knowledge, grounded in critical thinking, grounded in serious analysis of the issues, the challenges, and the possible solutions, looking at it from both sides. As a business owner who is going to provide services, who must also get rewarded for their capital and for their efforts, but not also cheat customers. And as customers who also want a right to the best of services and also want a space that is well regulated. But I see that you do a lopsided view of this, and I think that is very, very undemocratic. It looks as if to me that you have a malice or you are malicious against private business owners. Maybe because you are not a private business owner in the real sense of it. I think that you are malicious to them, and I think that I hope, that in future you are able to create a balance. Regardless of what I have said to you today, no matter how painful it is, I know that you are able to respond accordingly and also throw jabs back without addressing the issues. It's your modus operandi. However, you have my vote in 2027 if you decide to come out to. Why am I being muted? I don't like this. So you have my vote in 2027 if you decide to come out to vote. Though I am a Kalkai member of the APC and hope that Ashwadu wins, but I'm going to give my one vote to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McNoon. I'm glad that...
No, don't do that. You know my name. It is Mr. McNoon.
McNoon. Come on.
This is why I always have problem with you. You deliberately insult people. My name is...
Okay. McNoon.
The space is regulated, please.
No, don't worry. Please don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
let him talk.
Don't worry about him. McNoon, I apologize for mispronouncing your name. I'm glad that we've in our serious conversations about the future of Nigeria, you've come to the conclusion that I can earn your vote if I run for office next time as president. And for me, that's a big deal because that wasn't where we started out from. Regarding the information you have provided today, I want to thank you. This is the reason why we call these kind of spaces so that people can come and share their knowledge, ideas, and the way forward with us. I don't agree with you that I've not done my due diligence about these companies. I introduced that even at the beginning of the conversation, that I had spoken with some of these MTN and NCC staff before now and have figured out the problem. And that is the fact that part of it is regulation. But don't forget that I'm coming from an investigative reporting background. One of the reasons I was arrested in 2019 was because I exposed the bribery that MTN got involved with when they were moving money out of Nigeria. They were caught red-handed. They bribed Malami and the former chief of staff to Buhari, who is now late, Abakari, millions of dollars so that they will cover up that money laundering that they were doing. I know several people who made millions out of it. So I didn't just wake up. I also have exposure in terms of the fact that when I started this conversation, I told you that I have a phone that's been roamed from the US. And even at that, nobody's charging me or choking me with the kind of billing that I'm doing in Nigeria. I spend more money on MTN alone than my entire family cost of buying data, internet, and all of that in the US, dollar-wise. So why should we be suffering the same thing? And if you're in the US, you have a minimum wage that is way higher than this. But because data is regulated, you can't just take people's money and just walk away without providing the necessary services. That is what we're talking about. You mentioned the fact that I should have sponsored a bill the National Assembly, but you know the National Assembly yourself. First is not, I don't think it's my duty. I know citizens can sponsor bills, but it's our reps that should sponsor bills on our behalf, but those ones are irresponsible. You know it yourself. They will never do anything in your interest. They are aware of all of this. Let me tell you this. There are, right now, 385 people who are here that you see publicly, who are in this conversation. That is what you see publicly. But I can tell you that thousands and thousands of people are listening anonymously. Security agents, particularly the DSS, police, because they want to hear what we announce from here and decide what they want to do. Once again, I am not upset with you that you come and you shout. That's your nature. There's nothing wrong with that. It is how we have decided to be running our system. When I become president, nobody will ever gag you. And I apologize that this regulated space, because they want more people. I'm not the one in charge. I'm not the one regular. I was invited like you. I had to ask for microphone to speak. They can decide to mute me if I speak for too long. But there's nobody here who is out to muffle or muzzle your voice. I'm not the type of person who would do that. When I'm president, all of you will be free to do what I used to do, or even more. I've said it before that when I become president, I might protest against myself or ministers who are not doing their job in the system. That is why we are calling on all of you. Change course now, Forget about abusing me. That doesn't affect me. It's water off my back. I want a country that works. McNoon, I don't know if you've seen something that is circulating recently of our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, who are lamenting that it's too cold. They've lost it. Even though they are making money, they have no life. They are depressed. They are unhappy. We want to take our country back, make it work for every one of us, brother. So that I don't like it outside anymore. There's no pride, and I'm saying it seriously, in having a career as somebody who is living as a stranger in another person's country. Right? It used to be easy to say we're in the US, we're this and that, but you now know, we now know that this is where we should be. This is the country we should only be going on vacation in all those places. And I'm glad that you have expressed yourself. Again, if anybody tried to muzzle your voice or muffle it or prevent you from speaking, I apologize on their behalf, because this is also our movement and we shouldn't have done that. There's nothing you have said that is out of this world. You have not said, you're just a passionate person. Like you said, you keep comparing yourself to me. That's how I am. I'm a very passionate person, and I'm not afraid to express myself, even when people don't want to hear what I have to say. So please, thank you so much for what you brought on board. But you have also agreed that the telco companies are not doing what they should do. What we are asking for is that if you pay for a certain level of service, if somebody says to me, I should buy a tower sold by MTN, and that I'll get data of 250 gigs upon buying their useless tower, and it will last for a month, I expect it to last for a month. If it finishes in 3 days, I'll be upset, because I've already budgeted for data, I budget for food, I budget for family. So you can't just take everything I have and tell me that I have no right, that I'm not business friendly. Contrary to your position, I own a company, a private company, but you don't know, perhaps. You just think Sowore is there. I own a private company, yes. So I know what businesses should do. But I will not sit down here and tell you that because I own a private company, that should be the reason why you should respect me. No, I'm also a consumer in that regard. So if I'm paying for services, and you know that since I started this out, I'm also discussing about even what's it called, Starlink. Starlink is the one I have is the worst. It doesn't work. I pay 72 euros every month for Starlink in Abuja here. It doesn't work for me. So if I'm complaining, I'm not trying to be a pest. And I could be a pest, you know that. You've already acknowledged that. But it's because it is our fundamental right to get services that we pay for delivered to us without any hindrance because you paid for it. I was saying something about DSTV. Do you know that if you pay for DSTV, if you go and buy something in the US and you are not issued a receipt, you are entitled to immediate refund. That is fraud. In fact, I think it's a crime for somebody. If you pay for DSTV, they will not issue you a receipt that says this is Omoyele Sowore, this is the address that he paid for. I've asked them several times. So if you do it in South Africa, they will issue a receipt. So if a bank now is asking me for my address and I pay DSTV bills, I have 2 DSTVs really that is linked to me. They don't give you a receipt. They don't. Even these companies, I don't think they just send you. And those things are important. Those are fundamental issues of customers' rights. But at the heart of it is also customer delivery. Services delivery. And we then find out that these guys make billions of dollars. I'm not talking about naira, and take it out of this country every month. They take it out, and they are aided by our government because they are also shareholders in this company. I think I saw somewhere recently that the Emir of Kano has shares in MTN that fetches in 455 million naira every year. The guy who is the MD of MTN, do you know how much you get paid? So you get paid all these executive salaries, businesses, and bonuses, and you cannot deliver common MTN services to people who are paying through their nose. Their towers are falling apart. They are not even upgrading in the way they should because they know that you don't have a government and that nobody's going to protect you. But we are here to protect ourselves and protect other people who are vulnerable in this regard. That is the fight, McNaught, that I'm engaged in. And once again, thank you for accepting to vote for me. Ashwaju is going to lose the next election to us. Thank you.
Thank you so very much indeed, Comrade Omoyele Sowore. And I believe if Macron wants to address Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he would not be speaking in that derogatory, very denigrating manner. And of course, let's keep the conversation going. Let's ignore distraction. And of course, please, as you are picking up the microphone, you have to tell us where if there is a protest today, all right? And if there's an action today with regards to the data exploitation and situation of things, where would you be joining in that that protest from? And of course, please take advantage of all the links that is on the comment section with regards organizing with the revolutionary movement, Take It Back movement, and of course the Revolutionary Party African Action Congress. So let's proceed. Abi, perhaps Sowore, would you like to say something? I think your mic is still very much open.
No, I think I've stated my position. I wanted to address. I don't know if 2 weeks is not too long. I'm also thinking that maybe we should allow each and every one of the cities to do staggered action, and we have maybe in 2 weeks we'll then have a major action, because I know a lot of people are boiling in several parts of the country to just go and stand beside what they call their tower,
the mast.
Mast, yes, sorry. Some people just want to go to their stations, but let's make it very clear. You are not going to destroy MTN offices. That's not what we are recommending here, because it's our people that are working there, the poor and vulnerable people. They themselves, MTN is stealing from them. But to take symbolic action, maybe we want to recommend that anybody who wants to carry out action should start maybe from tomorrow. I don't know, and then we'll, in 2 weeks' time, have a mass action, because our goal is to make sure that action is taken. But I also think we should discuss and build into this struggle the larger struggle of workers' welfare, cost of living issues, because the Straits of Hormuz is closed again, and Dangote is also waiting for you to increase fuel prices to maybe 2,000 naira per barrel. Per liter in the next few days, who knows? So, and the government cannot be, don't let it make sound like, oh, this is just us versus MTN. The government must be brought into this as well. So there must be an action that is going to take place even at the NCC, in addition to MTN, GLO, all of the thieves. We must mobilize people to their offices to take a national day of action. But we should also, in my view, and this is my recommendation, welcome sporadic actions of individuals who are ready. There are people who are ready to go already. You know, there are people in Abuja who said to me they want to go to MTN headquarters in Abuja tomorrow in Maitama. You know, this is just my suggestion, but I'm happy to listen to what we all think is the best. So, thank you.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. And of course, to make that clarity, that as many as those that really want to start their protest, immediately they have the right. And of course, the Comrade President has made it very, very clear that this is a non-violent, you know, non-destructive, very peaceful protest. If you are going to be in front of a mast with your placard, with a very clear message, and of course, any MTN office or perhaps GLO office or AIRTEL office around you at 9MOBILE office, you can state your very peaceful protest there and of course make a very solid statement. As we anticipate the collective struggle that will be announced by the Take It Back movement, and of course, Comrade Sowore. And of course, if you have not followed Comrade Sowore, please do that for easy communication. And of course, if you are yet to follow the Unstoppable Friends of Sowore, please do that now for easy communication. If you are indeed locked in into this struggle, please do that now. And let's keep the conversation going. Let's pass the mic to Adedeji. Yeah, please proceed with your submission.
Thank you. Good day, everybody. I wanted to just highlight. Baba Show, I greet you, sir.
Good afternoon.
There are a few things I think we should highlight in as part of the entire mobilization and the agenda for it, by way of demands, right? MTN has an app. I don't know if they still have it, but I know they had an app that, I don't know what that does. The essence of it, everybody knows the world over, is to make your life, your business with them seamless and very hassle-free, yeah? But, which of course includes keeping your phone number. So it was a direct response to the deactivation of the line. This is a part of the demands that I think we should present to them. And then, of course, Nigeria that I know has the highest, there's no way you can tell me, more than even the UK and the US, especially what Nigerians are going through. We pay the highest for internet. I've checked it, I sat down, I looked at it. The average monthly phone bill in America and the UK cannot equate to, and that's a fact, go and check. I just did a few simple math. Let's say, for example, you pay $50 for a phone bill monthly in America. Nigerians recharge more than $50 monthly because of their expectation of MTN. So that's the fact. You can't, it's stubborn, it's just there. That's on the one hand. But I think the part of the fundamental demand should be that we should pay by the month, not as part of very, very many demands that we may have. I just wanted to add this. If you subscribe, let there be a base subscription fee monthly for calls, for internet, for SMS, and every other service, whether international call or whatever. I know somebody who uses less than $20 for all of this. Put that together, and that should be like a pointer to us in making the demands. All right? Put that together. It's not even up to what the average Nigerian pays for internet every month that they don't have value for. On top of that, they still recharge their phones to make calls and to send SMS.
No, I wanted to, sorry, I didn't want to barge into your conversation as such. But I want to remind you that in the US, you only have one. You only have one MTN. So in saying this, you must be very clear. Let's be clear. In the US, I only have Verizon. Verizon provides me with the cable. It provides me with my phone. I also have T-Mobile. But in Nigeria, the 50,000 you are talking about, I mean, the $50 you are talking about, you must have it with AIRTEL, GLO, Starlink. So Starlink is $72. That's what I'm paying for Starlink. So all of this combined could take you as much as $500 a month, or even more, depending on how much.
Exactly.
So there is nobody in the US who is paying $500. I don't even think that TV stations pay $500 for their internet.
Not even at White House.
And
Not
all
even
of
White
this
House.
is unlimited. But here, because the moment you walk out of there are certain places that are not the range for MTN. It is AIRTEL that works there. In my village, we don't even get AIRTEL at all. Whereas, and this is important for those of you who may not understand how these things are supposed to, how they are gaming you. Every single mast should have the available, should have a space for all the internet, all the telcos to place their router, whatever you call it, that is mounted. But they don't do that. So one mask should have MTN, have GLO, so that any place there is a mast in Nigeria, that tower, they should have all the networks mounted on it. But they don't do that because the phone companies use that to also defraud the Nigerian government. They claim that they are building masts. So you'll find the mast is GLO, is next to that of... they don't need all that. We don't need all that. Because... And some of those things were also archaic. The part of the problem you are facing, and that's important for you to understand, is that these guys have refused to upgrade the system because if they upgrade, they can't game you. And they have the government regulators behind them. Those ones are more interested in traveling. MTN even pay money to legislators to travel to conferences that they are not supposed to travel. They collect money from them. They give them employment quotas to fulfill because of how much they pay permanent staff. So you have nobody that is protecting you. But in the US, you have the protection. The protection is there. You only use one phone company, and most of them don't charge more than $50 across board. Cable, data, calls, anything you want to use them for. It's no more than, they are even begging you. They are begging you to please, there's competition. But here, if I move out of this place now, my MTN will not work. I have to use AIRTEL. If I move out of another place, you turn around, like the guy who initially joined, who said he has to be at a particular location to be able to get this. That should not be the case. And that is what you must tell them. You are in the US, you're only tied to one company. Here we are tied to, we are forced, into polygamy with all these scammers that they call telcos, and they are multinational companies. They make, one last thing I would say is that these telcos were the first source of money laundering when they came. Most of the governors bought shares and then they helped them move money. AIRTEL was involved, MTN was involved, and I'm sure they still do that now. That is why nobody is out there regulating them. Thank you. Sorry for barging into your conversation, by the way.
No worries, Makro. You are right. The thing, I don't even pay. I just use $50 as a base. I don't even pay $50 for my phone bill. All right. Even though I wanted to have, you can have your two, like Babasho said, you can have Verizon and T-Mobile and still, not because one is not working or functioning as it should. It's just because you want to have another provider, or you want to have a second phone. All right. As long as you're able to pay for it. Now, so that's the demand, and I'm glad that you rightly captured it well. Guys, the demand is very simple. You should not have to pay extra. Let's streamline it and let us be very focused about it. The demand should be that you don't have to pay extra for your calls, for your internet, for your SMS, and sometimes maybe for international calls. For example, let me be specific. Basho rightly, it let me in on this. I pay $34 every month for all this. They have divided it for you. Of course, the only thing that has a cap is the international call, which they give me $10 for. So it's a $10 international call cap. Guys, let us understand what is going on. All right? Let us know that we have to be very strategic with this fight. I don't pay more than $34 every month for my phone bill, which is, I don't understand. I mean, calculate it. So these guys are exploitative. They are stealing. They are looting. Their hands are on our neck. I still have my MTN line, all right. But now that I know that they are going there, I suffer the risk of losing it. I better just do something about it, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about in terms of having a very clear-cut demand as we attack the protest, so that we can know what we're fighting. And then they have an app, just like I said, they do have the app. The app should help you to, be in line and all of that. But I don't think that functions as it should. These are part of the demands as well. Thank you so very much, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeji. Thank you for sharing some light on it. Thank you as well, a comrade leader. We'll move the mic quickly. We now know some of the things. These things will come out. The information will be passed out. We'll streamline our agitation for our demands. We'll make our demands clear, and we will not stop until we have won the battle and we have won the struggle. The next speaker is Mr. Nnamdi. Please feel free to grab the mic.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to host and co-host and everyone listening. And good afternoon to our leader, Babasho. It's a pleasure to have you on this platform. So basically, since we are talking about action, Joshua Maponga once said that you shouldn't if you're not ready for war. So definitely the only action we can take at this point is to move out to the streets. We need to mobilize ourselves and majorly where I want to come in from is, I know most of the Take It Back movement and revolutionary guys are mostly based in probably Lagos and Abuja, but I feel like if we are doing this mobilization, the organizers should try as much as possible. It might be more difficult to cut across the other states because this is not just a one-state problem. Because I graduated from Nigerian University last year in Bio, and then in school, this is a first-hand experience. You cannot send messages when you're in your room. You can't send WhatsApp messages when you're in your room. I'm not joking. You can't send WhatsApp messages when you're in your room. You can ask. You can only go outside your lodge, stand on the gate, send messages. I'm not talking about watching videos. You can't send messages. The only time we are able to send messages we time it actually then in school is from 12 o'clock till 6 o'clock, probably because most people are sleeping. That's when you can be able to start, doing some of the few things you can do on your phone. And imagine students writing projects. Of course, you need a lot of research, YouTube and the rest, that you can't do these basic things comfortably from the comfort of your room. So it was a real conundrum at that point, right? So I feel like mobilizing this, of course, we need to make sure we cut across every state as much as possible, because this is a real struggle. And I know some people might be thinking, why are we going for MTN? What about let's focus on Tinubu? Let's get Tinubu out of government. But from the way I think, and I'm very happy we do not have a leader that is myopic. Even when he's speaking, you hear him that this is not just about MTN. We are going to the rest and all. So from where I see things, revolution can start from something as little as this internet that we are protesting, that we're going out to protest for. Revolution can start at any point, right? So I feel like we need to mobilize. And I know we said 2 weeks, but 2 weeks might be too long. So it's good that Sowore mentioned we can start the little ones, right? So 2 weeks might be too long, but we need to mobilize. We need to get out there, because someone mentioned earlier that MTN recovered, about 2 billion or 3, I've forgotten the figure. But that's true. First-hand experience, one of my guys messaged me some hours ago this morning. What he told me was please, I beg, make I help and recharge the MTN line, right? That is trying to pay off some debt. So apparently it's probably part of those that, when you borrow and then when you pay off the debt, you borrow back. So apparently as MTN is no longer allowing you to borrow, they're trying to pay back and this is theft. So we need to come out in masses. I remember years ago, just a few years ago, you could say, let me round up. A few years ago, you could make 15 minutes call with 100 naira airtime, right? 15 minutes, something seconds call with 100 naira airtime. But for you to make 15 minutes now, I think you need to be looking at 500 naira, 400 naira. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and we need to move as fast as possible to revolution now.
Thank you so very much. It's interesting that everybody is logged in on this, and of course, it's pleasing to know that we are all ready and poised for action. And let's not forget to basically look forward to the announcement from Take It Back Movement. Take It Back Movement account is very much visible on this platform, on X. Just search for it and you'll see it. It's not something that is difficult for you to get. And of course, if you can't get that, you can basically follow and Take It Back Movement coordinator, and that will be sorted out. So let's pass the mic to Dr. Holt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fresh. I want to use the opportunity to thank our indefatigable leader, Comrade President Sowore. Thank you for always, hanging in there, being our mouthpiece. I want to say that without your voice, right now, Nigeria would even be worse than what it is right now. So thank you very much for your sacrifice. Well, a lot has been said on this, and I want to thank the host and the co-host as well. So sorry for the oversight. A lot has been said about this problem, and I know that everybody has a fair share of, the consequences of the connivance and the conspiracy between Nigerian government and the telecoms company. I want to believe that it is not only the telecoms companies that are trying to overburden the Nigerian people. They are doing this because they have the backing of the government. I heard from somewhere that over 40 taxes are being levied over all these, services. So let us ask NCC, let us ask them, as one of the demands of the protest, they should declare all the taxes that they're collecting on the telecoms services. So it should be a very bold demand because, at the end of the day, by the time all these things are uncovered, we will realize that Nigerian government is even doing more harm than these telecoms companies. They can't have the boldness and the effrontery to be exploiting Nigerians if our government does not support it. So that's one of the demands, and I'm really thankful that Comrade Sowore has already talked
Even
about.
Macnon has basically validated that. The fact that he came here to basically challenge this whole organized struggle. Macnon is an APC member, and of
Absolutely.
course, it shows with the way it presented the whole thing and its attitude, the fact that it's basically saying that this is from a malicious place, that Sowore is basically having malice or perhaps taking, as an attack towards these corporations, this exploitative capitalist corporation. So it shows very much that this is the APC. They are basically on the same page with these exploitative corporations. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that we should not let's just leave the fool. I mean, it was painful to me that we allowed him to say all the derogatory things he said about our leader, but I mean, we are not going to gag it.
No be today.
Yeah. So let's hold them. Let's hold them hold them accountable. NCC, NITDA. Let all those agencies of government who are regulating telecom services, they also have to be held accountable. The power companies, because there are, honestly, from my own perspective, in my own opinion, there are 4 perspectives to the problem of data, telecom services One, power problem. If you ask telecoms companies, they also have their own stories. They say, the power problem, we buy diesel, we maintain. They said 60% of the money that they use to maintain towers, it actually goes to, has to do with power, has to do with buying diesel. So they talk about vandalism. They say, they vandalize cables. So all those are the things that the telecoms companies are talking about, as reasons why they are overtaxing Nigerians, right? And that's why we have to also bring in government in this. So the power is a problem. Taxes, over 40 taxes from government. They are doing that on a low key. Nigerians don't know that, government is taxing them. So we have to expose that. And, I want people to also rise up. To people in diaspora too are affected. A lot of people call me every day, I don't have data. When people call me, the call drops, I have to use my own phone to call them back. Like, I call them using, cellular call. So spending a lot of money to talk to my family, people, and my friends. So it affects everybody. But people in diaspora should also rise up. There was a time I was in Nigeria to renew one of my lines, which I use. I really love that number. I wanted to keep it. I went to MTN office, and the people working there, they were expecting me to bribe them to reopen my line. Nobody was using it. It was bound to my NIN, so nobody was using it. But I asked for it. I went through the preliminary process of getting the number reopened. And it was just for them to reopen it. They were expecting me to pay them bribe. So I left the place angrily. So it's a lot of issues. And regulation is the backbone. So thank you very much once again.
Guys, I don't know. I can't hear anyone speaking now.
Oh, we can hear him. Madam Real, if you can hear me, we can hear Dr. Oates.
All right. So,
Dr. Oates,
yes.
I'll just drop him. Okay, can you hear me now, Madam Real?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, with us. Carry on, Dr. Oates.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Just the point that I'm trying to emphasize is that we should not leave. I know when we go for the companies, the telecoms companies, they will report back to their bosses in government, and maybe get around a table and discuss how they want to do it. But then we must also pull some strings that will let NCC and the governments know that Nigerians they are not sleeping. We know all their secrets. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oates. You've spoken very well. The NCC will not be left out of this because they are the ones that are enabling these criminals to exploit us. Hashtag stop the exploitation. Hashtag occupy MTN. Hashtag occupy GLO. Hashtag AAC our party. Let it trend across the world. Let it be bigger than what we did with the NSAS. This could be the point where we actually take our country back. Let us begin to tweet. Let us begin to push it out. Let us begin to make the noise. We're going to take this agitation. There will come a day where we will shut down everybody shut down your phone 24 hours. We are not browsing. We are not calling. Stay at home. Nobody will shut down their network. We are going to disrupt their exploitation. You see, the Nigerian producers have realized that the Nigerian people are a viable market. So they just bring their friends, their uncles, their aunties to come in, start business, collect money, capital fly. I'll read something to us real quick. The allegations regarding MTN's illegal repatriation of funds from Nigeria were the subject of a high-profile legal and regulatory dispute between 2016 and 2019. Initial allegations. In 2016, the Nigerian Senate investigated claims that MTN illegally repatriated $13.92 billion between 2006 and 2016. The Senate's motion alleged that MTN bypassed foreign exchange laws by failing to obtain necessary certificates of capital importation, CCI, within the required 24-hour window. The central bank sanctions. In August 2018, the Central Bank of Nigeria ordered MTN to refund $8.13 billion. The CBN alleged that the company used improperly issued paperwork to repatriate dividends. Final resolution, the dispute was settled out of court in late 2018. MTN reached an amicable resolution with the CBN paying a much smaller fine of $53 million. Notional reversal fee to settle the matter without admitting wrongdoing. The CBN subsequently dropped its demands for the 8.1 billion refund after reviewing additional documentations provided by the company. So you see, the exploitation of these guys is documented history. It is not something that we don't know, but this is the time that we must take action. And like the other speaker said, it is not a struggle that is just left to Lagos or left to Abuja alone. It will happen across the country. We are going to set up a data. We are going to collect the names of individuals. We are going to get people who will lead the agitation in their different states. We are going to assign responsibilities to common men, normal Nigerians. We are going to empower Nigerians to take power back in their localities. So please, this is a serious movement moving forward. This is a serious organizational effort moving forward. And the Nigerian youth are poised. We are ripe and we are ready to do the job. The next hand I see up is Mr. Okoro. Mr. Okoro, please, the mic goes to you. Aduke, you've not said anything so far. I hope you are still there.
Yeah, I'm here. I was attending to the comment section. People were asking for where they could register, so I was just trying to send them the link.
Okay, great. It's also on the Jumbotron. You can just swipe on Jumbotron to register. The TIB has been uploaded on the Jumbotron as well. You can just follow. Our leader, Comrade Rex, is the PR. Please follow, so you can be in touch with the struggle and with the agitation moving forward. Yes, Mr. Okoro, thank you. Okay, yes.
No.
You forgot to
Prince Ade, I'm so sorry. I can't see your hand up, please. I'm so sorry for that. Prince Ade.
No, yes. Because you already called the list, so that's why I didn't want to bring my hand up. So.
Oh, okay, sorry. My bad. I must have missed it. Please, Mr. Prince Ade, you can go on, then Mr. Okoro can go after you, then Lucky fellow.
Is it because Mr. What's the name again? Sorry. Is it because he voiced out? Because you actually skipped me for like 3 other previous members.
Okay, you can go ahead. I don't have much to say because everything I have to say it's already been said. But I just want to chip in as well.
Can go ahead.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
It was just my observation.
Yeah,
you can go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
No, thank you.
We're not skipping people. You know how Twitter glitches work. We're even trying to bring more people up. It's just going crazy. Everyone is trying to. Please, we're sorry. We skip you. Let's be civil. We'll make it work, and everyone will be able to share their stories. Thank you very much. Yes, go ahead, Mr. President, Mr. Okoro.
Okay, quickly. I'm not going to take a long time because everything that needed to be said, right, have been said, and McNon actually helped in pushing some information out, right, which Comrade Sowore was able to give an answer to. So thank you, everybody. Grateful to be here, and thanks with the co-host and everybody that's on the line. So like I said, everything that I would have loved to say, right, McNon already instigated it, and then some of the things that have been said. One thing that I am thinking of, right, from the action, I'm not sure how best the Consumer Protection Agency in Nigeria is working. I think from the legal part of it, if there's while the revolution, has to go, I'm not against it at all, but I'm not going to be part of it because I'm not currently in Nigeria. But I think we should equally subject the Consumer Protection Agency to their act to figure out what are they doing to their job, right? We already know that regulation is one of the biggest issues that we have, and then services not rendered, right? I'm calling the US, and I don't need to talk about the services here because it's been said, but I can tell you one thing. When we go to the demand side, after we think about consumer protection, we talk about NCC, there should be a Senate committee as well. We might say that they wouldn't do the job, but I think whoever knows who are the party for telecommunication Senate committee, we should figure out how we can lend hands across the aisle to ask them what are they doing, because that's supposed to be part of their job, right? So let me now go to the demands so that we know what we're actually asking for. The guy that spoke earlier, they said he has to go and stay somewhere to get a service, right? I've seen that a couple of times when I come to Nigeria, but Momoya Sowore will know about a company called Sprint. When I first got to the US, way back in 2000, so I was able to get a job with Lucent Technologies, and we're installing frame relay services for Sprint way back then. There's one activities that we normally do, and that activity is a drive-through. All cell sites must go through what we call a soft hands-off. So someone will have to drive from a cell site to another cell site way far from where we just installed their frame relay service. If the call drops, we will have to go to that nearest cell site, go to that router on the switch, and figure out what matrix make the call to stop. And then we do that from every other location. And like, what Comrade Sowore was saying, that, you don't have all cell phone companies in telephone companies in Nigeria, they don't have to have different cell sites, right? It's just combination in one single cell site, and each of the companies can be on that single cell site. So the regulatory department within the telcos are leaving, they're not rendering all the services. So those telcos, they just do anything that they want, and they just run away with all the profits. Well, so-called profits that they said they do. So they need more intellectual people within that space to make sure that the
MTN routers we're using has just tripped, so I'm going to take a break and maybe come back later and join you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an amazing opportunity to discuss, how to stop these telcos that are ripping Nigerians off. And the general conversation is also about cost of living and the quality of life in the country. I just hope to rejoin, and I will let you know. If not, we'll talk to you soon again. The time is now. Revolution now.